And I think our mojo on the world stage has been very important to many, many people. It's drawn a lot of people to us. And that conversation, the inner conversation for Americans of what is America, I was surprised by that people believe a lot more in America than I thought. Which means that the fight over the loss of that version of America, I think, is going to be a lot more frenetic. See, there's Elvis right there. Did you already ask a question? You already. You just called it.
Quick one.
No. And you didn't ask a question. Yes, sir.
Your motivation for resurrecting the pumpkins, was that, can you kind of pinpoint when that happened? Was that more progressive?
You said the last part again? Sorry.
Can you kind of, was there like a one defining moment that you decided that was going to happen, or was it more of a progressive?
Are you talking about 10 years ago?
Yes. If you can recall.
I think it's kind of irrelevant at this point, because the thing I thought I was getting into is so not the thing I ended up in.
How so?
I thought I was rejoining the band that ended in 2000. And the audience said, no, you're now in the greatest hits version of the band that you never were, and if you're not that person, we're mad at you. So my choice was figure it out or break it up again. Obviously, I've chosen to figure it out, much to my, much to the loss of my sanity. But that said, I think it's been a good fight, and whether or not we win that fight or we survive that fight, I think it's not as relevant as the fact that I think things have to survive in the moment they're in. We never wanted to come back and be, in essence, ride on our coattails. So we chose not to, and so everything bad that's happened is because we didn't want to ride on our coattails. And not as much good has happened if the audience would have just let us figure it out in the way that they let us figure out another time instead of being stuck in 1994. And I think a lot of the audience, as they've grown older, have figured out that that was a waste of time too. So the audience has loosened up a bit, the band's loosened up a lot, and I think somewhere in between there we're starting to make good music again in a way that is more connected to the band that was than the band that people tried to turn us into, which I would argue we're not capable of anyway. So the pipe dream of, you know, everything from the 4 members on stage holding hands and crying, singing Kumbaya, to, you know, ladies and gentlemen, your Siamese dream, top to bottom, played perfectly. You know, we were never that band. I mean, go back and listen to the band when we played during Siamese dream. We don't even play the songs like they are on the album. But you try to tell that to somebody who thinks they know better than I do. I mean, what are you going to say? They're living in a phantasmical dream that never was. So, just like you saw with Star Wars, I mean, they obviously made a determination that it was better to live in the glow of something that was than to create a new world. It's one of the biggest movies of all time, so what does that tell you? The audience wants to be reminded, not challenged. So at some point you have to figure that out and navigate that space where you will die and perish and die. Okay. Yes?
Do you have one band that you really enjoy touring with?
You mean in the past?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we've literally had 2 experiences. We've had people who really wanted to play with us because it was good for their career, and we've had people wanted to play with us because they wanted to play with us. So everybody we've ever played with that wanted to play with us, whether it was Swerve Driver or Liz Fair, we've had incredible experiences. And the other people invent stories about us that aren't true and say things like, we were told you can't look them in the eye, and crazy shit. Like,
I was just wondering how it was like to tour Marilyn Manson.
well, you know, about 5:59, you stand outside his coffin and wait for him to come out. And immediately hand him a glass of vodka and ask how he's feeling. And